Bienvenidos amigos! It has been too long since your boy has done anything streaming wise. Too damn long. And I'm sorry for that. Life got kind of crazy for a bit and very hectic between work and personal life stuff. And I was just dead all around, and there was just no way I was going to be able to keep up my energy and stream and give you guys the quality content that you deserve. So, because of that, I decided for on the plane. Hey, Phoenix Wright is back, gamers. Welcome back to that boy, the Phoenix. So I know it's been such a long time, and there's a couple nights I wanted to stream at least little streams just so I could catch everyone up on stuff going on in my life, but I couldn't. So I'm sorry. So hopefully things are a bit better now, and we'll see. I'm still not 100%, but I feel well enough now that I can at least do some Phoenix. Maybe it'll make me feel better. Phoenix always makes me feel better. So. Oh, Prana, you the best. Thank you, thank you. I know, I was like, all I need is to kick it back with my friends, my homies, and play some games. That'll help. So, that is what we're gonna do. Plus, we're at the end of this trial. We're at the end of the second game. How did I get into this mess? That's far enough. Wait, you can't run forever, Mr. Phoenix. Wait, this was the beginning of the second game. What happened? What? What have I done wrong? I can't allow you to go on like this. But I'm just a simple defense attorney. Silence! You are no longer worthy of your title! No, my level 3 from Marvel's Capcom. Die. I've had this dream before, someplace, some time ago. As if this day was written into my destiny. Today, I'll stand in court as a lawyer. To prove a killer innocent. Oof. Big oof. Big oof. Big oof. That's right. That's right. This game started off like this, and then they brings this back, and oh boy. Oh boy. Sorry, I just finished eating, so it's probably the worst time to start streaming. Doing voices. Hello, this is Phoenix Wright. You don't look so well, dude. You're gonna prove me not guilty today, right? If you please, Mr. Lawyer. Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is writing in today's verdict, too. Now listen up. You'd better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag of not guilty, I'll never forgive you. Ever. Mia! Maya! How's Maya? I don't know. You don't know? She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday. Mia, what am I supposed to do? Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles. But you can't give up. There's still some hope left. Stop it, please! There's nothing left! Not here! Not anymore. Barbaro! The weird anime detective? Yes, it sure is. That's pretty accurate for it. It's that accursed guard again. This is the very end of the second game, so this is gonna be the big time. This is gonna be a big deal. This is so good. This case is so good. will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore. I mean it. You're really mean, pal. Gumshoe, I'm really sorry. Where are you? Well, then let me join the investigation team, and we're chasing after the killer, pal. Huh? Then you have some sort of lead? Sorry, but right now we've got 0 leads on the guy. But we're not gonna give up. Gumshoe, until the trial's over, until the verdict is handed down, we're gonna do everything we can and find the killer. If we can get Mai out, then you can get and guard the guilty verdict he deserves, pal. That's true. I could do that if they found Maya first. You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer. I have to make the trial last longer? If you go at Mr. Edgeworth with everything you got, then you two can draw it out. Oh, now I get it. I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgeworth can do it. So, believe in us. We're gonna give it all we've got, just like you. Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe. Oh, he is the best guy. Barbara, I've been watching Jacksepticeye play Detroit, and it's just been bringing back great memory. It's like a trip down nostalgia road, because Jack will be talking about things that he did and stuff he discovers there, and then I'll be thinking about stuff that we did, things that we discovered there, or something where Jack was like, I think I can go ahead and do this. I'm like, no, Jack, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't make the same mistake as I made. It's pretty great. Hey, Phoenix, you understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. Oh, that's right. It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance. Yeah! Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through, I know it. Because he is best guy. He was obsessed with Connor. He was like, man, same, bruh. Same. Smack! Court is now in session for the trial of Matt and Guard. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being, what exactly was Miss Adrian Andrews' role in this murder? That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edgeworth, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings. Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. Ungard, and then proceeded to escape this crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of his actions are those from which she could not escape. Wow, then you're saying that she is guilty after all. There's Connor on this Android set by Cyberlife. Yes, that's like his catchphrase. It's like my quality content you come to expect on my channel catchphrase. I'm not finished, Your Honor. Miss Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card. What is that? It looks like a shell. This is the calling card of a certain assassin. Assassin, you say? Yes. Juan Corrida was killed by a professional assassin. And the person who hired the assassin, his client, so to speak, is Matt Ungard. What a surprising turn of events! I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. I know what's going on this time, so I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true. But we still have to hold out as long as we can, at least until Maya is safe and sound. I wonder if the trial will I wonder how the trial will turn out today. Smack! Well then, now please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Wood Powers, to 20 stab wounds indeed. I miss Detroit. I really want to play it again. I miss it. Gumshoe, and there were 2 kids I found making out. Phoenix, hold it. Why would you bring that up, Gumshoe? I don't know. It seemed like it'd be pretty important, pal. See, in this case, that means he would have found Maya. That would have been awesome. Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please. Okay. I'm Will Powers. I'm a poor, underpaid action star. And what is your relation to the defendant? Well, I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way, yeah. Mr. Powers, please, you don't need to put yourself down so much.
Sorry. But I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy. On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yes.
I didn't know that.
But, I didn't actually get to see that when I went.
All you need to do is answer what you were asked. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you went to Mr. Ungard's room.
Okay, sure.
Yes, I totally will. Like, we were still waiting for you to reappear to play Man of Medan co-ops. So that's good. And we were talking about playing the Forest co-op tonight with me, him, and a buddy, so I don't know if that's still going to happen. But if that's going to happen soon, too.
After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his Nickel Samurai costume. He was talking with someone. At first, I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me.
It's a survival where you're crash landing on an island and there's like cannibals and you're trying to look for your son or something. There's a lot of crafting and building and stuff like that. One of those survive as long as you can kind of games. I know Markiplier's played it a bunch, but yeah, it's supposed to be really good. And I played it by myself, but I've never played it coops with friends. Come on down, try some corn, or we'll sacrifice your newborn. Okay. Alright, nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Power's testimony. And talking with the bellboy is no big deal. If one assumes that the person Mr. Ungard was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy. What are you implying? Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we? Looks like we're in another sticky situation. Huh? A trap. Can't you smell it, Phoenix? But for us to find out more, we're gonna have to just charge in head first, right? Oh, right. Right, you right. You right.
After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room.
The defendant's room. Why did you go there?
Well, I'm his mentor, like a big brother, sort of, and I wanted to say congrats.
What's wrong? Why did you shop?
Mr. Wright?
What is it?
You're gonna try to trick me into a corner, aren't you?
Huh?
I know I'm just a poor underpaid action star, but I'm not the killer.
No one said you were, Mr. Powers.
No, please, don't trick me. Every time you do your lawyer thing, the witness suddenly turns into the bad guy.
Every time?
Witness, I would personally talk to the defense at a later time. So for now, please kindly cooperate and continue with your testimony.
Could you say because my boss let me leave my shift with an open box of Thin Mints? The Girl Scout cookies? Want some? Yes. Put them in the magical VCR and send them to me. Hey, jeez, this is a difficult trial. Apollo Justice in the background. You can see that again! Yay, Apollo Justice! I like that you threw him in here. I love Apollo. I wish they would put those games up on here so I could play them too. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Sure, you went to the defendant's room and then... Hey, wait a second! When and how did I suddenly turn to the bad guy here?
Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his Nickel Samurai costume.
Are you sure that was Matt Ungard?
Yeah, I'm sure. He wasn't wearing the Nickel Samurai vest then.
If that's the case, then he really can't be mistaken.
And what was the defendant doing, standing in front of his own room? He was talking with someone. At first, I thought it was the bellboy.
At first? So what do you mean by that?
Well, he was in a bellboyish uniform, and he had a bottle of juice on a tray.
That sounds like an ordinary bellboy to me.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was a normal bellboy.
And why was that?
Why did I think that, Mr. Wright?
How am I supposed to know?
Sorry, but I can't remember right now. I'm sorry.
I guess I'm gonna have to wait patiently on this one.
I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back.
You saw two of them, the bellboy and the defendant together, correct? Smash them into the DVD slot? Yes! I guess it was a DVD slot. I went back to VCR, I'm sorry. I'll let you know. Wait, if Phoenix got in the Smash Ball of Justice could be an Echo Fighter for Phoenix. Man, boy, I would love that. Or Edgeworth. Edgeworth as Echo Fighter, please.
Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats.
Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange?
You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip.
A tip? But that's a perfectly normal thing to do. Alright, so how long did you watch the two of them?
That's not more than a minute or two, I think. I had guests with me that night, so I couldn't make them wait for me.
So who are these guests you were talking to?
You guys, of course, you and Maya and Little Pearl. I thought it'd be really rude since I invited you guys if I disappeared on you. So I went back to my seat pretty soon after seeing Matt in the hallway.
This is like squeezing water from a stone. It's probably pointless to press further. Do you remember this incident? Did Mr. Powers leave his seat that night? I don't remember that happening at all. Maya was making such a racket in her hyper state, I ended up focusing on her. I see. In any case, from his story, he probably wasn't gone for very long. Okay. Time to put the big brain hats on. Take out small brain, insert big brain. I think this was one of those... Now that I talked about the bellboy here for the tip thing, if I go back to this statement and press it, I always remember because this one always threw me off. So I think it was no. Wait, what was that? Hey, wait a second. Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago you stated.
You know, I did feel something weird. I thought it was because Matt, because he gave the bellboy a tip.
Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself?
Oh, yeah, that's it. You really know your job.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he?
Perhaps we should let the witness tell us.
Alright, very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony.
You mean about the bellboy, right?
Why does Powers seem really dumb? Because, yeah, he pretty much is, because he's a child's action star, and that's pretty much how they portray him as. He's just a big, lovable goof. That's all. So that's pretty much the voice I gave him, because that's exactly how he is. The small brain for breathing imbalance. Don't take that out. Okay. Well, if you're going to be scientific about it, alright, everyone leave your cerebellum in so you can breathe and stuff. Then yes. And Piranha Plant Man, I would hope like Maya would be like an assist trophy. She would come out and... Or Pearls could come out and wrap up everyone in Cyclops or some shit. Because she's a precious treasure. And you can't hit her. She's an assist trophy. You cannot attack because she's that.
Well, you see, that's not a poor penny pitcher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me.
How much it was?
But that's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket, and that's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked.
I'm afraid I don't follow at all. Sounds like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. I wonder which of his shocking moments I should ask him about. We're gonna ask, I guess it doesn't really matter too much. Let's ask about the face. What was so shocking about the bellboy's face, Mr. Powers?
Well, he wasn't exactly a boy, more like a old gramps.
I hope you do know that discrimination towards old men is a no-no in my court.
No, that's not what I meant at all. In the middle of his face, the guy's face, there was a line of stitches.
A line of stitches?
Yeah, it went straight from the tippy top of his head down to the bottom of his chin. It's almost like as if the thread snapped, all the stuff in his head would come spilling out.
Oh, he was there at Ingard's house? He was that butler! What is it, Mr. Wright? Ah, nothing, Your Honor. So that means Ungard was talking with the killer then. If that fact were to be exposed, Ungard would be declared guilty in a blink. Phoenix, you have to play dumb here, pretend you don't know anything. Yes, Chief. You sure you don't have anything you would like to say, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, what did you just say, Your Honor? Nothing, Mr. Wright. Nothing. We're just going around in circles. Now then, Mr. Powers, please continue with your testimony. Edgeworth knows everything. Okay, I guess I'll ask about the tip. The defendant is a huge star. He can afford to give generous tips, wouldn't you agree?
Sure. But giving him that much was maybe just a little too much, I think.
A little too much?
Would you please clarify for the court? About how much would you say the defendant gave to the bellboy? Honestly, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess.
Why is that?
Because he gave the bellboy a really, really fat roll of cash.
A roll of cash? Smack! Oh, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it?
A very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor.
All the judges begin to look awfully suspicious as
no.
Oh boy. Wait and see. There's nothing I can really object to here. I mean, who can argue that a fat roll of money isn't really odd? Smack! So, supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it?
Payment, Your Honor.
Payment?
Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida.
Then the bellboy was the witness, huh?
Yes, he was the assassin.
Smack! Hold your horses there now, man. Mr. Edgeworth, you don't have any proof of this, do you?
Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? I have here the card Shelley the killer left at the scene of the crime.
Shelley the killer?
He is the person the police special investigations team has been chasing for ages. I am certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley the killer. Really?
What's wrong, Mr. Powers?
No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head. I think I just figured something out. Actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night.
What?
Edgeworth, why is Phoenix acting like a little bitch? He does not fuck around this much.
Yeah, Edgeworth knows. Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw.
Yes, sir. Right away. The second time. This time, I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I meant Juan Corrida's room. Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kind of out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin, I'm sure of it. I mean... Thank you very much. That's all we need for now. Huh? But I'm not done. There's still more. Let us first establish that the bellboy was truly Mr. the Killer. Then we shall see.
So the bellboy came out of the victim's room? And if that bellboy really was an assassin, well, then I think the answer is fairly obvious.
That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh.
This is no laughing matter. Sorry, Mia. I'm sorry. I laugh and I pee a little when I'm nervous.
This time I was in the hallway because I had to go to the bathroom.
And what time was it?
Well, I don't remember. The award ceremony ended around 8 p.m., right? And I went to Matt's room pretty soon after that. And then I came back. And then I went to the bathroom. So I guess it's maybe around 8:10 by that time.
You're not one for details, are you, Mr. Powers?
Sorry. I thought maybe I could catch Matt and say my congrats. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room.
Are you sure it was the same bellboy?
Yeah.
And how could you tell? All the bellboys wore the same uniform, after all.
But you see, well, he had those stitches on his face.
Ugh.
So I'm sure it was the same guy that was talking with Matt.
So which room did the bellboy come out of?
Well, of course, when I say room, I meant Juan Carita's room.
The victim's room, huh?
Yeah, the one with all the really pretty flowers and teddy bears. It was Juan's room, alright?
Words cannot describe how screwed I am.
Let's continue with the testimony, shall we? Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kind of out of place.
So what exactly was so out of place about him?
Right. Why the insipid grin?
Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing he's gonna say next?
Well, the bellboy was empty-handed.
Empty-handed?
That bellboy was one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart, he wasn't holding a tray either. You'd call that a little strange too, wouldn't you?
I agree, that is a little strange, Mr. Powers. But is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers' testimony slide, or... I'm gonna try to pull the fast one, because that's what I do. Okay, I'm sorry, Piranha. Whatever sound a piranha plant would make crying. I'm not sure if I'd ever want to hear what a piranha plant sound like crying. That could be disturbing. Do you know that dumb vine with the girl that's like... I'm in me mom's car, broom broom. Get out of me car! Aw. Yeah, that one. I say that one all the time. I have a soft spot in my heart for that vine, so I like that vine. Yes, all the time. Anytime I'm playing a game or I'm something in a car, and then I'm just like, I'm in mom's car. But there really, really is. There really, really isn't. If you two are done being school children, bellboys offer room service. There is no reason for them to be empty-handed ever. Your Honor, I ask that the witness' previous statement be supplanted with this new one. Oh, Edgeworth. Are you gonna do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious? I see. Very well. Then this court recognizes and grants the prosecution request. Mr. Powers, if you could amend your testimony, please.
Yes, sir. I thought it was kind of strange for a bellboy to come out of a guest room empty-handed.
So you're saying that it's suspicious for him to be empty-handed?
Yeah, really suspicious. I mean, when I first saw the bellboy, he was holding a tray in his hand, and there was a bottle of juice and a wine glass on it.
Juice? What kind of juice was it?
I'm pretty sure it was tomato juice.
If we could come up with some sort of reason as to why he would come up empty-handed, some sort of proof, then I think we can dodge the bullet on this one for now. Proof, huh? Sounds like another job for the court record. Time for this goddamn wine glass again? Because he left it there, so that's why he was empty-handed? Please? Please? Yes. Mr. Powers.
Yes?
You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true.
But isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches, and...
So? A baseball has stitches? Are you saying that all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches?
Well, there's also, I mean, what about him being empty-handed?
I would like to ask the court to please take a look here. This is a crime scene. There is a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Carita's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. And now, if you would look at what's on top of the table in the lower right corner, here. Anyone can clearly see that it's a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. That bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Kurita's room. He left the tray in the other room, and that's why he was empty-handed when he left.
Oh, Brett, that would mean that the bellboy had seen it and left the dead body in the room.
But can you prove that Mr. Kurita was already dead at that time?
Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes.
I blame you for leading me down this route.
I'm terribly sorry. Oh, what's with him? Oh, why is he laughing? Witness, is there one more thing that you would like to share with us? Is there? That bellboy was empty-handed, or should I say emptied-handed. I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Huh? What? That bellboy, he was wearing gloves. Gloves? Yeah, pitch black leather ones. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right?
Black leather gloves? Why did you mention them earlier?
Sorry, it slipped my mind. Oh boy, does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, gotta focus. I can't get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves. Oh, come on, Mr. Wright. That bellboy was wearing black leather ones. So? A football's made of leather? Are you saying that all footballs are suspicious because they're all made of leather?
But that man, he received a large wad of cash from the defendant. And then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves? I don't think that even someone like myself can believe that he was just another bellboy.
Oh, no. It seems that we have finally come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony. The rest?
Oh yeah, please tell us more.
Okay. Wait, what's going on here? What is happening here? Gumshoe, I need some bleach for my eyes because I just saw it again in my head. Does anyone have any bleach for my eyes? Pink's like, why do I have bleach here? Power's like, nope, no bleach here. Edgeworth's like, don't be, that's preposterous. Well, if you need some bleach for your eyes, go ask the cleaner. After leaving Huad's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room, and then the old guy just left, without even going into the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat.
So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, went to the defendant's room?
Yeah, I kind of saw all that by accident. Some accident? I'd say you saw too much! And all of it was suspicious to high heaven!
Well, I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Alright, now then, let's get started, shall we? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor. I just have to hold out till they can find Maya. After leaving Huad's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door, just like that. Is that what you saw when you were busy spying? Excuse me? I may be poor, I may be a poor underpaid action star, but even I wouldn't stoop to spying.
But I think the point is, where did you watch all this from, Mr. Powers?
Oh, from the door of the bathroom with my left eye in sort of a sneaky spy-like. I knew he was spying. Please, does it really matter if he was doing it over or underhandedly? What did the bellboy do next? That's all I care to know. He gave something to the person inside the room. I said, hold it! Okay. That's better. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details. Oh, okay. I should probably ask him only one question at a time. Ask about this something. He gave something to this person. Yeah. And what was this something? Well, if I remember what it was, I wouldn't be calling it something, would it? Would I?
But this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers?
I think it was something kind of small. This is an incredibly crucial piece of information. Please, try to remember what it was. I'll try.
In the meantime, let's talk of another point, namely, what the bellboy did next. So after he gave the person inside the room the thing, then the old guy just left, without even going into the room.
Where did the bellboy go after he left Mr. Ngard's room?
He opened the door to Viola Hall, and went in there, and who knows after that, right?
Oh, I do.
After that, I went to the bathroom and back to my seat.
Did you see anything strange, suspicious, or just out of the ordinary at that time?
Oh yeah, I saw that one thing.
What? He saw something else?
Well, there was this jittery alien with a ray gun. I was watching Juan's door like some sort of stalker.
That was watching like a stalker. I think we can forget about the alien. Well, Mr. Power's testimony just now was just as vague as the first. It's a little troublesome, isn't it? But I'm sure if you press him enough, everything will become clearer. I can't talk tonight, although that just makes it harder on us, doesn't it? Talk about a lose-lose situation. So I'm trying to do my job, but I can't do my job. If I do my job, then Maya gonna die. Okay, let me press him on something else. About the person inside. So who took this something the bellboy handed off?
Actually, I don't know.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm.
Only an arm? Then you're saying that you didn't see the person's face.
Yeah.
I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point, if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm.
Yeah, it was just like that.
Mr. Edgeworth, is all of this really that important?
Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance.
This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. Well, Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off.
Well, let's see. I think it was... no.
If you remember it, please add it to your testimony.
Yes, sir. If I saw it again, I could say for sure. I think it was some sort of a wooden statue.
A statue?
Yeah, it kind of looked like one, I guess. If I saw the actual thing again, I'd probably remember, you know?
Looks like this, we're gonna have to, statue, okay. Wooden statue? Do I have that? Oh, is it this? Uh-oh, is it this?
What was the point of that pregnant pause?
Where did the objection come from? Well, speak up!
It was me, Your Honor.
What is it, Phoenix?
I have a feeling that something bad's gonna happen once I show this.
Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix. Deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw, was it this item? Oh, hey, that's it. That's the something. Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out.
I recall we found this at Matt and God's mansion. The defendant's house? Smack! What does this mean?
It's simple, Your Honor.
Shelley the killer assassinated Juan Corrida in his room, and then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime. Then the bear being found at Mr. Ngard's mansion would mean...
It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Matt Ngard is the killer's client.
Smack! What the... Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, this is an utmost unfortunate turn of events for you.
Yeah?
Sorry, Mia. No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edgeworth would have. I almost forgot that he knew about it too. I think it is clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial. I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please. Yes, Mr. Wright.
There are still a few points left that we have not fully explored. What are you trying to pull?
Well, we can't have that. All right, Mr. Wright. What questionable point would you like us to explore further?
Uh, well,
The bear itself?
I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable.
The bear, Mr. Wright?
All this was found at Mr. Engard's mansion. However, Mr. Engard was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home.
Oh!
I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It is not possible that it was Mr. Engard who took this bear to his mansion.
Smack! What? Why, that's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken his bear home.
Oh, disaster averted. It looked... Damn it. You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. Huh? I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Engard's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There's no way for him to escape. I can't believe it. That butler, all this time, he was the killer. The killer and Engard were working together, so to speak. And the killer was hiding at Engard mansion as its butler.
What a bold move!
The bear figurine was brought back to Engard mansion by the killer himself. When it looked as if he was to be arrested, Engard had asked him to do so. I assume because it would have been bad if the police had found it during an investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you have been quiet for a while now.
Oh, this is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all?
I have to try. I have to find something else.
What will you do now, Mr. Wright? Do you plan to...
I plan to expose a clearly shaky piece in Mr. Powers' testimony.
What? There's still another one?
There is indeed, Your Honor, and it's quite a questionable point.
What are you trying to pull?
Oh, well, we can't have that.
The other point? Oh, no, then, this time, the person received the bear.
There was one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear, and that is the identity of the person who received the bear. He gave something to the person inside the room. I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure of... Oh!
Huh?
What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're gonna scream like that, at least give us a good reason why.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Actually, so, I remembered. I remembered who took the bear.
What?
Really?
I mean, I only saw his arm, but the arm, it was the Nickel Samurai's arm, I swear.
You've got to be kidding!
Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was a Nickel Samurai.
Holy smack! What the order? Order! It looks like you've dug your own grave yet again.
How many times is that today? I've lost count.
So the person who took this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And, as we all know, Miss Mattengard is the Nickel Samurai.
Thanks to the defense, we've now made it all the clearer. Smack! Well, I think we've heard enough. We now know that where this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was that received this bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Mattengard. I see no reason for this trial to continue, therefore I will now hand down my verdict.
Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see now, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you? I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edgeworth has stated is the truth.
Any last objections, Mr. Wright?
Well, do I? What should I do?
Oof.
Judge would be like, I have no bleach or anything at all. Ask the custodian. Smack.
Um, oh no, ugh, I have to raise objection. I have to.
Objection!
There's only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is this one dirty trick. Your Honor, right now, we have these two reasons to believe my client is the assassin's client. Reason number one, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number two, that very same figurine was found in Guard's mansion. However, it's possible that this is all the work of a certain other person.
What are you saying?
What I am saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client.
Smack! The real client?
Yeah. Is this all you have?
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the killer's real client, and therefore the real murderer?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Take that!
Adrian Andrews?
Yes, we already know that she tried to frame Matt and Guard for the crime by wearing a spare nickel samurai costume. Oh! Well then the nickel samurai's arm that I saw? That could have very well been Miss Andrews.
But what about Mr. Guard?
If you would please recall yesterday's testimony, the defendant was taking a nap during the break period.
That's right. Then, finding his figurine at Mr. Guard's mansion?
It was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews. Oh, I feel dirty. I feel bad. 1,000 showers aren't going to make me clean enough after this.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion on this?
I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic, besides which there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either. What is with this trial?
Come on, anyone can tell that Guard did it.
I can't believe the defense would go so far as to pin this guilt onto someone else!
Yeah, unbelievable! It's not something petty, it's murderable things! This is a safe Maya. This is a safe Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on.
Smack! Ordered! Ordered! All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom.
Your Honor. For the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game.
His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even if you must have thought it strange and wondered, why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did specifically bring that bear to Guard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews.
And who would that be?
It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Adrian Andrews herself.
Smack! I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare its witness in that time.
Yes, Your Honor.
Smack!
Oh, shit, ma'am. Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? But I never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guilt onto Adrian. Oh, I swear this demon will pay.
Mr. Nick,
Pearls? Where's Mia?
I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away.
A really strong power?
Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is...
It's from Gumshoe.
How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal?
Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto. Oh, that's good. That's good, pal. What about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What? We don't have any more time! Well, if we just had one, even a single clue would really be helpful. I was only gonna come this far because I kept thinking to myself, but I gotta keep the trial going until my has been rescued. But have I just run out of the luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? Huh? A tent? I could see a circus tent. Mia! It looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked into a dusty little room right now. But I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe! Is there a circus in town right now? Oh, there's only one, pal. The very big circus. Maya is somewhere within 300-foot radius of the main tent. What? Oh, okay, hold on a sec, pal. Hey, draw a circle on the map around 300-foot radius on the main tent. Hurry! And I can see a mailbox under the window just outside. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Okay. What else? What else, Mia? I'm sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. I felt like I was in an old office building, maybe the 3rd floor or so. I heard her. Oh, so an office building. Good stuff, pal. Okay, just hang in there. Just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck. Good luck. I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Mia, Maya's not hurt, right? She's in pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry. Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I can do this. I just have to make the trial last a little longer. Don't worry, Piranha. Just hang in there. Just hang in there. We gotta say best girl. Schmack! Court will now reconvene. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question rises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real culprit. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have.
You have seen it before?
That's right. It's only natural the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? All right. Why? Why does she... Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. As its at its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. Apollo's not even here, so no, Apollo can't be here. He's not canon yet. He's not canon to our playthroughs. The courtroom starts to flood in tears. Gumshoe's not even here either, but he'd be like, "Oh, now my shoes are getting all wet, which is a problem because I got holes in them." The judge would be like, "Bailiff, please call the custodian here and bring him up." Phoenix would be like, "Ah, poor guy, hang in there. We're gonna get her." I feel the same though, bro. Edgeworth would just stand there.
So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it?
Yes, looks can be deceiving. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, this is a superb craftsmanship. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Looks like there really was something in that bear after all. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. Puzzle. That's right.
But it looks like an ordinary figurine.
True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never have guessed that this was just this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is it exactly? If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. So you can take it apart, and how would one go about doing that? Well, you would first turn its tail to the right and then push it in.
Oh, yeah, I see.
After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed.
This is most interesting.
A boy and his new toy. Looks like he's 5 all over again.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, cool. Turn it like this. Do something like it. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead, carry on.
I think he's lost it. So what did you find after you... What do you find after you take the puzzle apart? At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland.
Oh, then this was a present from you?
That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for one. So it was a present from Miss Andrews. Witness, let's continue from your testimony. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. So who exactly knew how to solve the puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt that there were many people with the same bear in this country.
But this looks like it can be easily broken. Especially if someone wanted to get at what's inside.
Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same again once it's been broken. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container, or jewelry box? I never told anyone. And as long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. The two of you, huh? Then of course that means Mr. Engard didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm gonna get for now.
Updated! Only Corita and Andrews knew how to open it.
Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize that there's one very important fact that we've uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there is only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What is inside this box?
What's in the box, man? What's in the box? What's inside?
That's right. That's what we're going to find out next. Witness? Yes? You are the only one who can open this. Please. There's a painful silence hanging over the courtroom. All eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. I've opened it. Is this what you wanted?
What is that? It looks like a note.
I don't think we need to guess what this is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's a suicide note.
The suicide note?
The suicide note left by Juan Corrida's former manager, Celeste Impax. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Corrida himself.
Oh, shit.
It seems Celeste Impax had very beautiful handwriting, and she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note that she left right before she committed suicide.
Smack! Order! Witness, did you know about this?
Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public, but I couldn't find it anywhere, because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace, so now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What is written on the note? That's right, at least that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of the note being made known. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it. Now I was going to burn it for her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud.
Very well.
Whoops, my bad. I was muted. And about how she decided in her despair to end it all.
And that's all Miss Impact had to say?
There's one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. God.
Then, what?
Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference.
My word!
Madden God values above all else his refreshing like a spring breeze image, which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost. It's in Guard's fault that woman killed herself!
And this time, he even went as far to kill someone to stop him from revealing that.
How terrible! What a selfish person!
I guess there are slimeball lawyers out there who will defend those creeps too,
says Piranha Plant. There's no room for doubt here. Mr. Tequila's client's goal was to obtain this suicide note, and the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with this note inside was found at the defendant's house.
Schmack! Or it seems that we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone.
Oh, how am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know, I have to carry on and buy him some time. Okay, there are two deadly pieces of evidence. The figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of this situation through one of those? The gavel's already in the judge's hand, Phoenix, hurry. The suicide note or the figurine? Which one should I pursue? Oh boy, again, I'm gonna die. I don't want to die.
I don't want to die.
The note. Maybe. We already did the bear. Please wait, Your Honor. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it.
Looks like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook.
I think Your Honor believes that man and guard killed in order to obtain this note.
Yes, that's correct.
But that seems a little strange. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here. This note was hidden by Mr. Carita until the night of the murder. If that's the case, I say that man and guard could not have known that was written on the note.
Oh, I didn't think of it that way.
Exactly, but I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. No one in the right mind would kill for a note without first knowing what it said.
Schmack, schmack, schmack! Order! 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 You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion?
It was just a flash, but I think I did rather well on that one. Unfortunately, I think he believes differently. I believe a show of appreciation is in order.
Huh?
The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this.
What is that?
It is a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying.
Spying?
What the? Oh no. I thought that spy camera was in my possession! Matt and God and the victim both thought of each other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses.
And?
The victim Juan Carita was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt and God.
Schmack, schmack, schmack! Order! Order! Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
You... Don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities.
Well, sort of.
Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright.
See, you are confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera. But I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not that same one. Last night, I searched the victim's house on a hunch. Using this Gumshoe's bug sweeper.
By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera.
Matt and Guard's fingerprints were on there?
Well, Phoenix, it looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence?
I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. Guard learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along.
You got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Hey, now what's that lawyer thinking?
Mommy, is that man the bad killer guy?
Shush, stop, don't look at him. Phoenix? Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're going to do next yet? What I'm going to do next? Does running away like a frightened child work? I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There's a piece of evidence that he really should investigate. Something he should investigate? I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item from which he had the chance. When he had the chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? Do you not give a shit about your sister, Mia?
Alright, I think this time we finally understood everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you?
What is this piece of evidence that Mia's talking about? Can I figure out what it is? Can I figure out what it is? Can I figure out what it is? It has to be the suicide note. I think it's the only new thing that we got. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright.
Your Honor, the defense has no intention of letting this go so easily. You're beginning to sound desperate. That's just your imagination, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Hey, isn't that what I just said? So, you're telling me that I forgot something? You're so close, Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. Is it a handwriting analysis, maybe?
That should be a Shimpack suicide note, right?
Who knows? I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside this bear, but this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting of this suicide note has not yet been analyzed!
Oh!
So, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Fax or not, that has yet to be even remotely confirmed.
Smack! Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be thinking...
Mr. Wright? Are you saying this note is a fake? Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Ungard. Who's to say that you didn't create a fake suicide note and put this into the bear? How dare you? Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There's no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle itself is the witness herself. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so that you could use it to frame Matt and Guard. I did no such thing. Right. If you're going to pronounce this suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of the proof lies within you, the prosecution.
Ugh. Smack! Well, that's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting of the suicide note?
It is as the defense has stated. The handwriting has yet to be analyzed.
Well, if that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where the verdict is impossible.
That's impossible! This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over for another day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day.
I didn't want to have to do this, but I have no choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate.
Handwriting analysis, my ass! That's just the lawyer trying to buy more time!
A guard's guilty. Look, any idiot can tell you that.
I think we've reached the end of the line.
Guilty! 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 Guilty!
Oh, I'm gonna die. Gumshoe! Gumshoe! Gumshoe!
Hey, what is that sound?
It's Gumshoe! Hello? Gumshoe? What is with him? What's with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. I wish there was some other way to make it up to you. I really do. Anyway, what's going on? We found his hideout, pal. But the two of them were already gone. This is terrible. I'm gonna keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time. But don't tell me we don't. Oh, we don't have any more. Oh God, this is bad. This is so bad. Do you hear that? They're calling for his head. Mr. Wright, I can't force to come this far and... Oh! What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that.
Smack, Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after.
Hold on, Your Honor.
Edgeworth, catch! Mr. Edgeworth!
Please, you gotta buy us more time. Court is in session. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying...
Mr. Wright, this is a court of law.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but...
Smack! I am reluctant to do this, however. It appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow.
Oh, this time, I really can't do anything.
Court is now adjourned for the day.
Edgeworth! Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth!
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time.
For what purpose?
We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time.
But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes?
I believe we can, Your Honor.
But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for the day and then reconvene tomorrow?
30 minutes, please, Your Honor. That's all I'm asking for. Please, Your Honor.
Very well. Smack. Well, at the proceeding request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. Y'all are being fucking weird. But to be advised, I will not allow another recess today.
I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us.
The court will now take its final recess of the day. Smack.
Right, well, what's going on with my situation? The killer, it looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find her in that time. Report.
Is that Mr. Edgeworth?
We don't have time, just spit it out.
Right. Oh, well, it looks like we just missed him, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away.
A few things? Can we use any of them as evidence?
Oh, I thought you'd ask, pal. Well, I've got the things he left with me right now, and I'm on my way over.
Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first.
We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When these guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran.
What? Oh, Gumshoe's best guy.
Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law on hold for now.
Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get into too much trouble for this.
With my hunk of junk car, I'll be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me.
Oh, all right. Just get here in one piece.
I'm on a mission, and no one can stop me now, sir. No one! I'm pulling out all the stops and running every red light.
Items left by the murderer? Maybe there's something among them that can be decisive enough to end this. Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe,
Answer me.
No one can stop me. No, Gumshoe, no!
What happened? Sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. What was he thinking?
Oh, we gotta hurry, call for help.
Well, we have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken, and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get those items before they do, the police will take possession of them.
No, we can't let that happen.
Well, if there's a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance.
Oh, why did Gumshoe have to get into an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? Oh, Gumshoe. Oh, you are best guy. You are best guy. Wait, there is a way. Oh, we all know why. We all know there is a way. What? How? I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this. There's one person who always keeps a tracker on that guy. Why are you bringing up Francisca at this time?
Oh, I see. I'll try to get in contact with her. The chances are slim, but she's all we have.
Francisca, will she even want to help us? Edgeworth, what is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client's guilty, but what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt on someone totally innocent and using evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say, Defense Attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death.
Right.
It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided.
The verdict?
Is Prosecution Edgeworth here?
Yes, Bailiff.
Oh, there's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent.
They've probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do.
Maya's love, Maya's life.
Ba-da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Now for the final Courtney. Now we're gonna beat the game. Hooray! And then we can start number 3. Hooray!
Shrek! Court, you now can reconvene. I assume both sides are ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth?
That is... It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him.
Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on the Miss Impact's suicide note.
Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery.
What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This note was not written by Miss Impact herself. It is a fake.
I didn't expect that. Order! Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what's going on? If this was not written by Miss Impact, who wrote it?
We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis, however. It appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida.
Mr. Corrida?
Well. It looks like Miss Impacts never left the suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about Engard. However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Engard could not have known that, and so the facts remain unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it.
That does sound very plausible.
This theory that Engard had no idea the suicide note was a fake? Something seems a little wrong with it. Making me throw stuff out.
Of course. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. Engard to not have known it was a fake, because you guys said it was a camera. What is this little item called again?
a video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but...
Oh, that's right. Oh, a camera. Oh, you kids and your fancy toys nowadays.
Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. Engard knew the existence of this note because he was spying on the victim. Isn't that right? If that were true, then this means that Mr. Engard would have known that the victim had forged the note.
Smack. Oh, so then the defendant knew the suicide note was a fake? And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way.
Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Engard's motive for murder was has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Engard monitored Mr. Kurita 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Engard didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place?
Trick smack! Order! Order! Mr. Edgeworth! It looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave.
As I figured.
As you figured?
As I figured, it came down to this after all.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're not making any sense.
When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove that Miss Engard's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle.
Well, I agree with you there.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time.
Oh, well, that's fine.
However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering? This is not like him at all.
Unusual? Well, what sort of person is this person, Mr. Edgeworth?
This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Shelley the killer to commit murder? That's impossible! Who in the... No such person exists who can answer that question with such clarity! With certainty!
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is a witness? Yes, go on! Who is it?
It's the man himself. Mr. Shelley the killer.
Ah, Mr. the killer. What? Shelley the killer? You mean the killer? The assassin?
Yes, Your Honor.
He's coming here? To the witness stand?
Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission.
Well, Mr. Wright?
Yes?
Is this alright with you?
Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else than drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor.
I wonder if it really is alright to do this.
Very well, then. The prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there really no other way left to us? Now then, witness. Your name and your, occupation, please. Very good, sir. My name is Shelley the Killer, and I am a professional assassin.
I say? Well, what's going on here?
Your Honor.
How can you remain so calm? What is the meaning of this two-way radio?
Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with one condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer would testify to the court. So this must be what the urgent phone call he got was about earlier.
No, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. the Killer himself.
Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shelley the Killer. I understand. Please wait a second.
I'm so hungry.
Maya! Maya!
A voice? Can you confirm who this voice is?
The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley the Killer.
Well, it looks like we've run into yet another unexpected turn of events, sir. Smack! Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so...
Now then, witness. There's one thing we'd like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corina, is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corina.
Oh?
Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well.
Oh, this is all just a bad dream. Yep, that's it. It's just a bad dream.
Shelly the killer? What's he gonna say? There's something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on the witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client.
Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say that he seems to be mocking us.
While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. the Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief.
You mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? Well, it seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix.
Don't worry, Piranha. We're gonna get to the end. We're gonna get to the end. Don't worry.
There's something I must first state.
We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your clients?
I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first state means?
Or first means? Sorry, go on.
Well, it appears that this one witness you can't badger, Mr. Wright.
That's only because you don't know about my situation.
To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself.
The trust between you and your client?
I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew about my face, it'd be quite troublesome.
And that's why you're testifying in this manner?
This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my clients can trust me.
But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust?
It has never happened before, but if it ever did,
yes?
That person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly...
That's enough. Please no more.
Very well. It was only a hypothetical anyway. And that is the reason I am here today on the witness stand.
That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them.
It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside their prescribed role.
Their role?
This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves, and this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven.
You? Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty?
To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die?
Oh no! I didn't say anything! Nope!
The judge had better watch himself. Then we have to go back to this one. Trust between you and your client, because... I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules?
A person who frames another is the worst kind of human.
And that's why you feel you can betray this person.
I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role.
Just my luck. An assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured?
Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic?
This case just keeps getting better and better.
If you can, then I'm afraid we can't proceed.
Well, everyone understands your point, I think. Really.
In that case, I believe I'm prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent.
Okay, so then after we do that, after you press this,
What is it?
I can't bring myself to ask the client's name.
If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness. What's the name of a client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida? That person's name is... Whoops.
Oh, Phoenix, I'm sorry. Adrian Andrews. What? What? Witness! That's not what you told me was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should know. I know my own client. It is Adrian Andrews. What? Barbaro, true that. It's the best thing you can say to enemies. What you can't say to people in everyday life sometimes. And Piranha... Give him the whole browser history, why not? Okay, now he's playing dirty. This can't be. On the phone earlier... What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. the Killer just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. the Killer told him a different name. Man in Guard, perhaps? I knew it. This is outrageous! I was deceived! This witness is telling a very serious lie.
But you were the one who showed me this witness.
You, Shelly the Killer. My testimony is truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt in Guard, am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal.
Where? Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah, great.
Schmack. Prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided this suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. Well, but most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. the Killer's client, who requested the murder, was not the defendant at all.
No.
With all this evidence, it's obvious to me that this means that Mr. Guard is innocent.
I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please, continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict.
Schmack. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews into immediately.
What now? With the way this is going on, Guard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer's lying. And in Guard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this?
Schmack. Who would have believed that this prosecution's own witness would have absolved the client?
Your Honor, the prosecution requested permission to further question the witness. Shelley the Killer is certainly lying under oath.
Alright, well...
It wasn't me! Listen, everyone please, that testimony just now, it was all one big lie! Miss Andrews, the suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me, it was a horrible, horrible lie.
But Mr. the Killer himself has testified. He has named you as his client.
No, that's not true.
Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. And the knife and the button and donning the Nickel Samurai costume.
But that's...
You even have a motive. And we know that Miss Celeste Impact was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons why you want them both dead.
No. Mr. Wright. You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story. Who the real killer is. Tell them. Please. Help me. Yes, I know the truth.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions.
I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? This is the hardest choice in Phoenix Wright history. Until the third game. But oh, I hate this. I don't want you nothing. I want you nothing. Phoenix, I can't do it, Maya. I can't accept the not guilty. You're a lawyer. I know, but Menengard's a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than Engard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it is because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten Engard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. And if I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust. I never thought about it until now. I trust him. Yes, you do.
Smack! Mr. Wright, your opinion, please.
The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer.
What? Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright?
Right.
But that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done.
I'm not done yet. To see through the witness's lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. There's still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur.
Smack! Very well. Trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please reestablish connection with Mr. the Killer.
Right away, Your Honor.
Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more.
About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else would you need me for?
Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is, how things are usually done.
Well, what's he talking about? Usually done. But what shall we have him testify about now?
Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify to you about your client in more detail. You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court? As I've already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene, Adrian Andrews already knew from the beginning that Mr. Juan Corino was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules.
Looks like my quesadilla break off the way. Man, the food truck's gonna be gone by 1. I'm gonna be so hungry the rest of the day. I just want my quesadillas.
Or as the white-ass judge would say,
My quesadillas. This is the most unexpected turn of events for the 5th time now. However, this time everything has finally been revealed.
just a second, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
We still have a cross-examination to do.
But you don't need to question testimony like that. Do you, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor, the defense would question the witness. As if I have a choice here.
What? Wait, why? What the, my quesadillas. What the witness has said before is nothing beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony,
then I'll expose the lies on that also beneficial testimony, I suppose.
God damn it, I don't understand what's going on anymore. Okay, whatever.
Well, that makes 2 of us.
God damn.
As I already stated a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client, however.
What is it, Mr. Wright?
If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicions on his end. But I have to do something to waste more time. Witness, about requesting a hit.
Yes.
How much is your fee? I see, you are also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney. Huh? If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial. Oh, no, I'm not taking that.
Mr. Wright!
Yes?
You want to kill me! You want me dead, don't you?
No, what? What? Why would you think of that?
Dirty Mr. Finish Wright!
Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are not. They are your client, are they not?
The quesadilla trucks are gonna be gone. I'm gonna be so hungry. Oh, those quesadillas. This fluffy, pillowy tortillas and all that gooey cheese. It's bad for my heart. And my doctor said I shouldn't eat those anymore, but I'm just so hungry, and they're just so good. How can I resist? Especially after a case like this, I need my quesadillas.
For this, it's tricky. You don't want to fuck up because there's actually a way in this to get a bad ending, so you got to be careful because you don't want, obviously, to get the bad ending. I think it's not in this testimony. I think it's in the next testimony. I have to be careful because if I say the wrong thing, it's bad end time. From the very beginning. That is correct. From before my client visited the room, all of my clients know precisely what the situation is oh my god. All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. Okay, then... Is this supposed to be here? Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. the Killer. What is the meaning of that attitude? Well, when Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Corrida had been murdered.
What? How do you know that?
From this wine glass, Your Honor.
The glass?
Mr. the Killer's supposed client thought that Mr. Corrida had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim.
Oh, but isn't that just a part of Miss Andrews' calculated plan?
That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind.
I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion?
Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Corrida's death. If not, then that can only mean that Miss Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. How strange.
Yes?
Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know.
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence.
Sorry.
Oh, well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you.
Anyway, I'm positive that there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. Right now, I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here, I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies within those items. This request came to me about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of this award ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes.
Alright, so you physically met your client, huh?
That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
I am cheesing this a little bit because we're at the end of the game, and I want to finish this game and start the third game. The third game is my favorite. So I am cheating a little bit for the answers. Too bad, you're not missing anything. And I admit it, because I'm just, I want to finish it. Case is still as good, though. It's still as good. A certain boss discussed and finalized a few matters. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right?
Of course I did.
What was that? What was with the brief pause? Press further. Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details.
I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking at them in the eye.
Alright, well, Mr. Wright, was your testimony now just of any importance?
It was very important. Of course, it was very important, Your Honor. If Mr. the Killer had met his then it's unlikely he is mistaken.
So you're saying that his client really was Miss Andrews?
I guess so.
You see, it is just as I said.
I'm so lost. Who the heck am I supposed to be helping here? Calm down, Phoenix. Think carefully and relax.
Now then, would the witness please continue?
Oh wait, no, I was supposed to say it was not important. My bad.
My bad.
Okay, you press on this one. Why he meets his client is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. Cheaters do prosper on occasion. Thank you. Thank you for believing in me.
What do you mean by that?
My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person?
I have already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. That's when I thought, I can trust this person as a client.
Oh, he said him. Oh, he said him.
Oh, it's true. What they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was your testimony just now of any importance?
So I say, at first I said it was not important, and now I say it was very important. If I heard what I think I heard just now, he just used the wrong pronouns. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance.
Huh? Really?
If that's the case, witness, please include the testimony just now in your testimony. Very well.
From the moment I saw him... Oh, snap, you just assumed his gender. Whoops, I didn't mean to... I pressed the wrong button. Ow, unnecessary penalty. I got excited. Take that! I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at the bar and took the request at that time.
Yes, that's correct.
And that's when you thought he was trustworthy?
How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct.
I am sorry, but that is an impossible tale.
What?
Shelley the Killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews.
Why would you say that?
Because you made one very big slip-up. About her.
So what is the issue? What did you just say just now? About her?
If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she is a woman. She got titties.
Oh.
I love it.
Smack! What's that? Oh, order! Order in the court! Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
The witness testified to the following: that he always meets face to face with his clients when he's taking their requests.
But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person?
Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. the Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews.
Start sweating. What, oil? Battery acid?
Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake?
I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor.
Her name?
Yes, Adrian Andrews is, without a doubt, a very androgynous name.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Unluckily for Mr. the Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated that Adrian Andrews' gender. So, he assumed her gender without thinking.
What? Oh, what's going on? Smack! Shelly the killer. This court demands an explanation.
I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. So does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more.
Oh, I know. I just know he's gonna spit out more lies.
Smack! Very well, but this time, please give us the truth and nothing but the truth.
Could I have a crush on Adrian Andrews? Ooh, no. Yes, now I remember, I took that request by mail. There have been times where I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Juan Corina and 2 or 3 small other things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man.
Alright, so you took this job through a letter.
He didn't mention anything about a letter in his early testimony, which means that he is definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know. But I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me. No matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it.
Now then, let's begin the cross-examination.
Oh, these bros. They have a bond that will pierce the heavens. Okay, I have to be careful, because this is the testimony where if I say the wrong thing, I can get to the bad ending and fuck everything up. Okay, so let's do it. The request was for the murder of Juan Corrida and 2 or 3 other small things. 2 or 3 other things. Yes. And what were those other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It'd be really bad if I pushed this button the wrong way or got him mad, but that's what we're gonna do. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney. Yes? Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client, which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client? That's... I smell the stench of a backstabber! And should you turn out to be one... Wait! Uh-oh, this is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think, is this worth pursuing? Yes. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine. The bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Mr. Corrida's suitcase. And then what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You gave it to your client. Interesting.
Alright, this information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony.
As you wish. And then, to that new added statement, we press it. I found this figurine at Mr. Guard's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, then what was it doing there? I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan to frame Mr. Guard, I'm sure.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with the testimony?
And at that, I say there is a contradiction. So, the killer says he gave the figurine to Miss Andrews, but I know somewhere in that statement there is a contradiction, and yet, I know that if I present something trivial here, he will cut the connection on his end. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you have to present strong evidence. She's right. So now what, Dr. Wright?
Now I am...
Witness, let's go over this one more time. You gave Miss Andrews the bear figurine, and she told you to take the bear and wait for her at Guard's mansion. Is that correct? Yes. Where are you going with this?
Well, I think that maybe you might have remembered a few things incorrectly. What?
This is a battle of wits. I can't let up on him. I don't think it's possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear. And then I'm just supposed to Um. And then present suicide note. Okay, Barbaro. Goodbye, Colette. Oh man, I seriously been trying to save up money for that the last couple weeks to buy it. So I'm going to attempt to do it this week again. Hopefully, actually, today's Wednesday. Maybe tomorrow, Friday. I keep on having to give all my paychecks to all these other things and people. So, yeah. Hopefully, this week, the next couple days, I'll be doing it. So I will keep you posted. Yes, I'm trying. I haven't forgotten. I'm trying. Shelly the Killer. If you had really given this bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it. This item? I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going.
Where's everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase?
Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. And I was gonna burn it for her sake. See you later, Barbaro. Thanks for hanging out. If, even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it.
Smack, smack, smack! Order! Order! So that's where you two are going.
So by the very fact that the suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means... It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client.
Smack, smack, smack! Order! Order! Order!
Mr. Phoenix, right? I'm sure I mentioned this before, how I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement.
No, that's not...
That's enough. If that's your intention, then there's only one thing for me to do.
But wait, please.
Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that must attend to.
No, please. Not that. Please wait.
Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand otherwise.
What in there, Mr. Wright? Are you... Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
I didn't understand this witness helper just now, but do you think there's a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough?
Well, we should.
Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, she's gonna...
The prosecution...
What has come over everyone? Even you are...
The prosecution rests.
What incarnation?
The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor.
What? What? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, or then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that's the case, then even though I am reluctant I must believe that Mr. the Killer's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelly the Killer's client is Adrian Andrews? Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
If in the trial here, right now, then your client, Matt Guard, would be declared innocent. And in this place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder.
Miss Andrews would be charged with murder.
Smack! The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Matt Guard, to the stand.
The items from the killer's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands.
Did the old guy finally decide?
To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear that you are innocent.
Huh. So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out.
Mr. Guard?
What an atrocious lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap. It's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer? Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life?
You'd better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay?
But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, then Miss Andrews will be charged with the murder. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is gonna end. It all hinges on what I choose.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on the matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Manengard, is innocent.
There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer is gonna say what I want, aren't you? Right? I can't do this. Oh, I'm gonna have to decide something. I can't count on no evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Manengard, is Maya is more important, but also justice is important. Plus, if I save Maya, Maya's gonna hate me. She's gonna hate me forever. But also,
We're waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Manengard, your client deserves an answer.
it actually doesn't matter what I pick for this part, so. Prana, calm down. I'll save her. Don't worry. Maya, I'm sorry. Manengard is...
Objection!
Francisca! What? Best girl!
What are you doing? Ow!
You see now, don't you, Mr. Felix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Did you bring them? The final pieces, do you have them? You should know better than to ask Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine, and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside this.
What a filthy old coat this is.
That's Gumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. I fought long and hard this whole trial, all for what's inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat. See, this is why I said at the beginning that Francisca's just like Edgeworth. At the beginning of the game, you hate her, but by the end of the game, you might love her. But that's because she's the one that saves our asses. Are the defense's final pieces of evidence? Yes, give me those.
Your final evidence? This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand out my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence be presented now would change the outcome of this trial.
What? Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence.
Well, I suppose you are right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, there's one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, they will not be accepted by the court. Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from the police. Oh, he must have been in quite a rush.
Yes, Your Honor.
The killer left 3 pieces of evidence.
Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around, like a miracle. I'm sure of it.
That is all we can hope for.
The first item is a pistol. the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? I'm pretty sure there was no gun involved in this case. There's no real benefit to hearing about it. Please present the next piece of evidence. Got the gun. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. I bet the killer took it from the guard's mansion. Have you checked the contents of that videotape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh, yeah. But I would speculate that this tape is very important.
Why would you say that?
Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of our officers at the site.
Her.
But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Shelley the Killer is no ordinary man. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Is that the uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? I don't think this is going to help us much at all. Thank you very much, Miss Von Karma. I think it's enough. That is all I have to present, Your Honor.
It's just as I thought.
And what is that, Your Honor?
I'm sure under normal circumstances, these items from Shelley the Killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing.
It is who is the client.
Yeah, that's correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Smack! Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may now step down.
Wait, Your Honor! Please, allow me to examine this new evidence.
Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down the verdict.
Wonderful, absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Phoenix, I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't just give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's try. Just for my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of the situation for us. 2. The first. Make Ungard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Ungard himself wishes to be convicted, then he'll let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way. Force the killer to end his contract with Ungard. If the killer would no longer think of Ungard as his client, then he would let Maya go. Mia, that's even more impossible! He's a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else! I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either of those happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what what has always worked for us? Oh, the other side? Wait, does she mean... You mean to turn things around? Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence? The defense, prosecution, and the judge. We have seen all the pieces of evidence, and that's how we have come to know the truth. But there's one person who has yet to see them all, and that person does not know the truth. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end.
There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? I have already told you, Mr. Wright, this court does not need any more evidence.
I am not saying it as us that needs the evidence, Your Honor.
Then, you want to show the evidence to that person?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, for you to ask out such passion, I will grant you one last chance.
Oh, one chance.
Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person.
That's impossible. To turn the situation around in one try.
One try. That's all I'll permit.
I have to try to remember. Everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix. Think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking the guard down at the same time.
Smack. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show this evidence to?
This is the part where if you don't show the right person, you get the bad ending. And we gotta show it to Sherry the Kara.
I see. And now, tell this court what is the one piece of evidence you would like to show this person?
The videotape.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think there's some merit in showing the evidence to that witness.
Bailiff, please bring the transceiver from earlier.
All right. Looks like I managed to convince him. No, press button super carefully. That's what I was like. I know the answer, but I better not fuck up. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence. Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from the client. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. I'm afraid I have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client to not watch it. So I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you are on this tape. Me? There was a video camera that was hidden at the scene of the crime. Your actions were being recorded. What?
Is that true, Mr. Wright?
Who was it that planted a camera? Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally.
That was Adrian Andrews?
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Your client specified a place and time for you. Isn't that right? Yes. That was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why did Guard film the crime scene? The reason why he did that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene, and that is because they could. And to get the real ending, you gotta say the right parts at these parts too. Wanted blackmail on you. Your client once told me this something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the videotape comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay, even blackmail him if I want. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelly the Killer? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That's the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes. You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then? That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honor of the killer name, even if it takes an eternity,
I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. I see. Well, that's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. Ah, I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around. Mr. Wright. Yes. My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item.
What the? I'm not an item!
Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness!
This trial seems to have come to its conclusion. However, I'm sort of a... I don't know what just happened there with the client, the witness, and... Miss Von Karma, what is that?
She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. We did it, fam! Mr. Ungard, it looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watched this video. Help me! Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please.
Is this alright with you, Mr. Wright?
We have finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there's no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. When I choose what my option is, I can say pretty much either one. I can say either one. Man in guard? Even though I am a lawyer, I cannot make your own crime disappear. I think a guilty verdict is appropriate here. Me? My wonderful self? Guilty? Even if you got an acquittal, the instant you set foot outside the detention center, your life would be in danger. No matter which way you look at it. You can't run away from your crime anymore. No! Guilty!
Well, as always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth.
I don't remember you helping out much in this.
Mr. Edgeworth, how is Man in Guard?
I have left Miss Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full-course meal of whipped leather right about now.
Oh, very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness?
Yes, I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is no concern to me. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I'd finally been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I'm really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. Oh, Adrian. Shucks.
It looks as if we resolved everything at last. As for myself, there's a few things I'm confused about. But everyone seems to be in good spirits.
Yay, might as well come back. In the courtroom. It's Spider-Man. Judge is like, "Ah, look, isn't that so sweet?" Phoenix is like, "Maya, I'm so glad you're back." But Karma is like, whatever, pitiful. Edgeworth's like, "Yes, this is awkward."
Spoderman's like, yeah, good job, guys. Spoderman out. Swings out the window. Shilova-kun was like, thank God, we did it. We did it. And yeah, I did all of them.
But everyone seems to be in good spirits, and that's good enough for me. That's all. This court is adjourned. Smack!
You were great out there, Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got him a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there's something more than just getting a not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss Von Karma arrived in the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statements on the matter.
I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice? Or should I save Maya's life? My client, Manengard, is he guilty? Or is he not guilty? Those were your choices. And then? And your answer? Your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you.
It's about justice. Right.
Edgeworth! I have good news. Maya is now safe in police custody.
Really? Pearls, you're not telling us you're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in a patrol car.
Mystic Maya is safe. You did it. You really did it, Mr. Nick.
Ow! She punches deceptively hard for a kid.
I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her.
Thanks.
Oh,
What's wrong?
Miss Von Karma.
About earlier, thanks. Ow! Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost. Your perfect win record has now been crushed. And yet you are still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand, Miss Von Karma. How dare you? Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth, for my own personal victories, and for the guilty verdicts, I used every dirty trick in the book, and so too my win record remains spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner, and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death.
As well you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die.
But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense. We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we do so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. But what? You trusted your enemy? It doesn't matter how many unhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is fight with the knowledge that we hold and everything we have, erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch, but we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This I promise you.
The truth?
Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, Wright? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding, isn't that right? This man who had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night.
Oh, is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick?
You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things that you said to me all those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. And that's why 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least, that's what I told myself.
You pathetic fool! Miss Von Karma! I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. A Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over!
Francisca threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that the thing that she used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else.
Ah, isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip?
I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this, Wright. Okay.
Nick! Maya! Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! Oh, my heart. Oh, this feels good. Feels good, man. Feels good, man. Oh, Nick, I knew you would come through. You got in guard convicted, like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me.
Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. But we sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here.
Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost of Pearly.
Is it really that easy to do something like that?
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Don't mention it. Maya.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
I'm relieved you're right.
Hey, it looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago. 6 minutes later. That's fair. But first, let her eat. She's hungry.
All right, I think it's time we got out of this depressing place.
Huh? Where are we going?
Food, Nick! Food! Grub, chow, I'm starved. I'm so hungry that even you look like a nice juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick.
You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least.
Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please.
If you insist. Yay! Edward's coming! Alright, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint?
Don't be silly, Nick.
Huh?
This case messed up an awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I've decided we have to make it up by having another feast.
Another feast?
Come on, Nick. Food!
Hey, pal! Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Gumshoe! Are you okay? Oh, yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things. A telephone pole? Then it wasn't a red light that got him?
You did it again, city boy. I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I ain't joking.
Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai. Thanks.
Now looky here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't you reckon you bullied my Mr. Wright too hard? If you don't start being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight, even.
I'll keep that in mind.
Well, come on now, everyone gather round. Y'all gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer.
Looks like Lada bought herself a new camera.
Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal.
Amen to that, pal. Amen.
You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, Detective.
Huh? Me? You really think so?
He's right.
If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have had a very different ending.
Oh, well, you know, it's a... Wait, that's odd. When I ran off with the thing from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir.
What? 4?
Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket.
There was a 4th item?
Oh, come on, y'all. It's over. But oh boy, I tell you, you really are something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped, never a dull moment with you, huh? You think?
Why does she look so happy about that?
But being shut away for 2 whole days, weren't you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off of things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had it rough, gal. So where's this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Mystic Maya's picture. You know, I don't know where it went. Aw, that's too bad. Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway.
Ah. It sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again. What is it, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up.
Oh, that's Miss Von Karma's receiver! Oh, thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me.
That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location.
Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do.
Huh? But Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't even eaten anything yet.
You've eaten way too much, you glutton. I had fun tonight. Now if you excuse me.
Wait,
What? I just want to say, thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me there. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, Wright. I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. You gotta give him the right item here, or else you don't get the real ending. What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you too. You and her. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job.
It looks like Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, hey, Mystic Maya? Yes, Pearly? I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You and Mr. Nick? I mean... Pearly, would you cut already? You're embarrassing me. Besides, I'm already married to a piranha plant, don't you remember?
Anyway, so...
Everyone say thank you to Nick.
Huh?
oh yeah, I'm kind of at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kind of already put your name on the bill.
Huh? Huh? Yeah, I got me in a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop in this hotel, see, and I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It'd be better, it better be anyway for $3,000. Huh? Oh, wait. Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all.
What?
Isn't this great, Mr. Nick? Yeah, Nick.
Why do I suddenly feel like screaming?
You don't need to hold back, you hear?
Yeah, pal, time to let it all out.
This is gonna be the first time I hear the real you. Go on. It's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all.
Alright then, if you say so. Yay! Oh, we did it. We finished the second game.
You really came through for me, Nick. I had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro.
No, Maya. No, don't say that, Maya. I don't want you to be a pro at that. None of us want you to be a pro at that.
I'm so happy that you could save Mr. Maya, Mr. Nick, and I'm so happy for the 2 of you. Speaking of which, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymooners, so I sort of made reservations for the two of you just in case.
Oh, Pearls. She made it for Piranha. Maya Piranha. Well, pal, it looks like I'm back on the force again. Mr. Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief, and he got me reinstated for my sake. I heard he said things like, letting that one go is bad for all society, and I knew it. Crashing headlock into everything is the only way to live life, pal. Oh, Gumshoe, yay. We'll see a lot of our friends in the next game. Maggie! I, Maggie Bird, am retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm going to be a waitress from now on, and bring smiles and joy to the people who come by the restaurant. I hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright. I'm not going to continue to the next game tonight, unfortunately, because I'm going to be up early tomorrow, but I am going to start the third game tomorrow. Faux show.
Yes, are you here to visit a patient? Yeah, I'm Dr. Huddy. Oh, yeah. Oh, recently, yes, that girl, you know, I haven't seen her around. Yeah, and yes. But I remember, even if I laid so much on her, it would go crack. Yes. Oh, it didn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yeah, yes, oh, yeah.
Even though this game was still really good, the next game is going to blow your fucking minds, because the next game is incredible. All the cases are incredible. It's time to begin our quest of world circus domination, sweeties, and let the world know that we're serious. I plan to make something Zimbabwe.
Hey Max, what do you think Zimbabwe's like? Do you think there are castles made of cake and bunnies who can talk?
I think if there are any talking bunnies, even if they won't laugh at most jokes. If all 7 Phoenix Wright games, this one's my least favorite. Still good, but it's just, eh.
I'm ready. There's no way these jokes are gonna fall on deaf ears. I gotta be more contemporary with my humor. Mo Curls, represent.
We got a new act all worked out. Prepare for the Hallelujah chorus. Say something, would ya? You're supposed to start this off. Get on with it.
And a lot of our favorite characters will come back in the next game. Along with a new prosecutor. Dun dun dun.
What's this? Try it's just an ordinary electric razor recharger kind of stand. I can't believe this. Really? How long do they plan on making me do this? Oh, but it's Edgy Poo's idea, so that means that it must have a deep hidden meaning. But why do I get the feeling that they wouldn't forget about me? Would they? Oh, it was never like this in the old days. Everyone thought the world of me. They used to call me the Queen Wendy and treat me like royalty. And who hasn't heard about this? It's going to feel the pain of my heel. Yes, I'm going to feel the hail. And speaking of burning and fighting with the fire, the years of warehouses.
No, we didn't forget about you at all, Miss Oldbag. Not at all. I appreciate everything you and Mr. Edgeworth did for me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that's right, I received a letter from Miss Von Karma. She said that after I get out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. I'm really thankful to have met everyone. Aww, Francisca. Look at you being nice. Is it possible you wanted a friend? We'll see Miss Andrews again in the future game, too. It has become difficult for me in this country as of late. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you would like to request my services, please be sure to visit my homepage. May we both be blessed with longevity. Jeez, I still can't believe Pearls cannot remember I'm married to a piranha plant. I know, right? Hey, Maya, your love Phoenix is... He probably walked in on me kissing. Maya, you're cheating on Mr. Nick. You're gonna break his heart. Pearls, let's have a little talk outside, Pearls. See, this is the true ending. You don't get this if you fuck up. Where are you going, Francisca? How did you know I was here? With this? That's... I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example.
That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage, but it's going in the trash, I promise you that.
Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting.
Oh, when I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir.
4 things? It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket. He put it in here? It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over. What are you going to do now?
That's none of your business.
Are you running away?
Shut up! You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter. Franziska. So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what. And failure? Such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius. There's no doubt about that. But me, I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one. I had to.
You may not be a genius like your father, but you were a prosecutor. You have been and always will be.
No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away.
Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to.
That's why you have to give him the whip!
Right, you knew something like this would happen, didn't you? I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip.
You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth. I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge.
I see.
You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today.
I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did.
Adrian Andrews?
You were going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics, isn't that right? Today you chased after me, after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you're going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma.
Oh, I am Franziska von Karma. Don't think I'm gonna walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now, so you had better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. Oh, Franziska, somebody hug her. See, she ain't so bad. I love her. I love her. We might see her again someday. I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you. I'll take good care of this 4th piece. She still has it, so I can give it to you when at last we meet again. Oh, that's a picture that Maya drew. My chest. Oh, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts a bunch. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Listen, Pearl, he's just a friend. Pearls is like, no, he's not your friend. He's your beloved. She's like, no, no, Pearls, oh, no. Pearls, no. You have to learn to love this piranha plant. Now he's family. I'm with a piranha plant is family? Okay, he could be my family. Come on, piranha plant, let's go play outside with the ball. She drags you outside. Okay, so I would love to start the next game, but I'm gonna stop it there because it's late and I gotta get up early tomorrow. So, but I will continue this tomorrow, and we're gonna start the third game, which is my favorite game of the series, and it's so good, and I can't wait to play with you guys. So, thank you guys for sticking around playing some Phoenix Wright with me. I'm gonna try to do some more streaming tomorrow, hopefully. After do some more, maybe start earlier. So I can do Spider-Man or something. So we'll see. But yeah, it's good to be back. Sorry I was gone for so long. But I'm gonna definitely continue doing more streaming again. So don't worry. But my Phoenix fly trap side head pieces. Well, she just picks you up by their pot and carries you outside. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna start streaming regularly again. Should be now that everything's calmed down. So, again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'm gonna get my happy ass to bed, and I will talk to you guys later, or tomorrow. See ya.